There are a ton of videos being released every single day about product research and winning products, but there's barely anything uploaded about how to take these winning products and advertise them effectively with good Facebook etiquette to make sure your CPMs are low and your ROAS is high during testing. Otherwise, there's no point in finding winning products if you can't convey them properly and give Facebook the chance to give you cheap results. And while it's important to get good at testing winning products, it's more important to be able to test them strategically while maintaining profits. Welcome to part 2 of how we can boost our profits during testing and scaling. Check it out. Before we get into this video, of course, we'll be releasing the winner of last video's free 30-minute consulting call giveaway sometime throughout this video. So definitely check it out until the end to see if you're a potential winner. And of course, watch it until the end anyway. This is course level stuff for free, guys. I'm sharing with you my experience and what has gotten me results back to back to back to back to back. Repetition after repetition, dollar spent after dollar spent. This is what you guys get. If you want to be a winner of the 30-minute call with me, all you got to do is like, comment, and subscribe. I will pick at random who the winner is while I'm filming the next video, so you'll have plenty of time to actually drop a comment down below. And of course, it's random, so if you have a great chance of winning, if you've won previously, then I will not pick you unless you win twice. So you still have a chance of winning too. So definitely comment, drop something you guys want me to share in the future, or have some feedback, or just show some love and positivity, whatever you guys want. If you got any questions, shoot me a DM. All right, let's get to the juicy part. This is part 2 of a 2-part series. I might make a 3rd part to this later on. There's a lot of stuff that you guys need to know for Facebook, and that's the most important part of e-commerce. Your advertising is so critical, guys. So I will be dishing out a lot of videos on this because I've realized that there is a missing gap in this section of e-commerce with a lot of YouTubers out there. And trust me, I've done my fair research when I was beginning too. And there's not enough information in general out there with what's going on with Facebook, because most of it is actually just trial and error and experience. And you need to seek that experience out on threads, on forums, on Reddit posts, on YouTube videos, and it's little nitty-gritty stuff that you pick up in addition to your experience, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys today. Not just the money I've spent, but also my research, my colleagues, the people I've spoken to, the experts, people have done way better than I have, and I'm sharing with you guys these golden nuggets that I put together, and I'm sure as I go on, I'll have way more to share with you as well, especially with creatives. So if you haven't watched the first part, definitely check that out first before you dive into this. I would say they're both evenly going to be great videos. They have awesome advice in both videos. So let's get right into this one. Okay. Tip number 5, you need to test with variety. What do I mean by this? 2 things. Number 1, what is your angle of your creative? What are you specifically targeting in your creative? You need to vary that. You might target one kind of demographic, but there also might be a whole nother demographic that you can target with that same product, right? So let's say you're using blue light glasses, for example, right? I have a pair right here. Very practical when you're sitting all day on the computer, and that's something that you actually might advertise, right? The people who are sitting all day, like myself, working from home, and that'd be a great angle, but it's a saturated angle. You can go into this market and actually get people who are just mobile phone users, right? People who probably don't even have computers around the world in poorer countries. They're often on their phones more than they are on their computers. And nowadays, most people, even in first world countries, are more so on their phone too. So that's another great angle that most people who have saturated this market with the first angle haven't thought of. So now you can get into this saturated market with another angle that's more unique. It's a twist to it. And there's a lot of great products that are doing excellently right now, which are saturated, but you can still jump in with a different angle and kill it. And so if you target that same audience with a new refreshed angle, as opposed to using the first angle that everyone's already saturated, you now have lower CPMs. Facebook prefers that because the audience now sees something new, a new problem, a new type of problem for that product, which is being solved, or it appears that they've just learned that this product actually also solves this problem and they had no idea in the past. Now they're like, oh shit, I definitely need these. So now I'm gonna pick it up. Number 2, your content type is even during scaling and testing. You should vary the type of content that you're creating. What do I mean by this? I mean, you should be using video ads, you should be using image ads, and maybe even test a carousel. And that's especially true when you're scaling. But when you're testing, I strongly recommend you use at least 3 to 4 types of advertisements, 3 to 4 ads to test your products, because oftentimes people will just get one order from Fiverr to do a video ad and it probably even sucks. They can just run with that and that's it. No, you guys should throw some images into the ad sets, see if Facebook prefers the images over the video ads, and if it does and there's some sort of slight glimpse of gold, go towards the image ads, right? You'll notice which is going to do better and you'll follow that part and you'll make even better images and better ones. Keep tweaking it, make it more optimized, keep testing it, and you'll get better and better and better. Or it could be better videos, right? Facebook picks out videos, you'll make better angles, better scroll stoppers, and you keep going that route. But every product is different. You should never use your own personal judgment and say, oh no, this is definitely just an image, or it is definitely just going to be a video ad. No, you should test it. And that's so important. So when you give Facebook these options, Facebook likes this, right? They like to make their own decisions and they're smart enough to do so. So give them a wide variety of options, a wide variety of content to play around with, a wide variety of angles to target, a new type of angle to target. They will reward you with lowering your CPMs because they'll choose which is going to give you the best CPC or the best cost per result. Tip number 6, refresh your creatives. Now, this applies to when you're scaling, right? You want to constantly pump through more creatives. You never want to be in a situation where you're like, oh, I'm doing great, I don't need to change a damn thing. This ad is actually doing awesome in and of itself. But then you realize your frequency is going up, slowly creeping up your frequency. And that means you're showing your ad to the same people over and over again. You want to vary it up. You want to give Facebook a chance to choose whether this new creative is better than the old one or not. Even if it's not, Facebook will appreciate the fact that you're actually giving them an opportunity and you're actually active in your ad manager and your posts, that you're producing new content. So I strongly recommend that. What does this mean? I personally do upwards to 5 to 10 creatives per week with winning banger products. With products that are 6 figures, I'll probably do 2 to 3 creatives per week, brand new creatives. Oftentimes, they're not even hard to make. I would just change up the scroll stopper or a new image, or maybe give your image to an editor and tell them, hey, do something fancy with this. That's it. Just play around with it. You know, it doesn't cost you much. You can test it very easily with a testing campaign, and I'll have a video on how to test new creatives as well, because that's pretty important. I've gotten a lot of questions on that. Number 7, and this is a mistake that almost, I would say 90% of beginners make in dropshipping. When you're making your ad, you need to be careful with your wording and your actual creative. Now, Facebook might actually approve your ad. However, it doesn't mean that Facebook likes your ad. They can still throttle your ads without even telling you that they're throttling your ads. And what do I mean by this? What causes this? Scammy text and clickbaity videos. Now, also, there are texts where you shouldn't be using the kind of wording that you're doing in your ad copy. Now, there isn't a black and white thing to follow, but you want to try your best not to say last chance sale, reviewed by 10 million plus customers, or some BS like that, because Facebook knows what you're doing and they'll likely throttle you. I've split tested that actual phrases that I just said, I've split tested those and many more several times, and I've discovered time and time again that Facebook does throttle those ads, even if it doesn't reject them or show that it's being throttled as low ad quality. Overall, and not just for Facebook, you want to avoid sounding clickbaity and scammy in general for your audience, because people don't like that. It's less trustworthy. Just like seeing a lot of sales pop-ups in the actual landing page, you want to keep your ads clean and professional. Even if it's on a general store, they're landing on your landing page. They'll know that it's a legit site if you make it look like a legit site. They won't have to creep up on anything else. But if you have a very scammy looking ad copy or headline or description, then they're going to be a little bit more scrutinizing as they're going through your page, even if they click on it, right? So you don't want that. You want to build that trust factor. Oftentimes, this means that just kind of have a genuine post on Facebook, right? That always does the best time and time again for almost all products. Have a genuine thing that looks like it's not an advertisement. It's just giving intrigue to those who are viewing it enough for them to stop scrolling through their feed that is meant for entertainment so that they can get entertainment from your post. That's the key to getting very cheap clicks in a nutshell. And I'll have more videos diving into this single topic alone because it is very important. I've learned a lot from it over the years and I'm trying to give that back to you guys. Now let's go back to the clickbaity side of things, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say instead of saying in your ad copy or your video, order now to keep your life safe from danger. That's super clickbaity. In fact, it might not even get approved by Facebook. If it does, then you're gonna have some problems. Facebook is definitely gonna throttle that because it is just completely clickbaity and scammy, and that's just not cool, even if it gets approved for the customers themselves. Now, what you can say as an alternative is something along the lines of, let's say instead of buy this to save your life from danger, you can say proactivity is the unbeatable measure. Don't wait any longer. Now that conveys a lot of things, right? It conveys that you want to be proactive. You don't necessarily know if the danger is going to happen, but this product will save you and you shouldn't wait any longer. Fear of missing out. So it conveys a lot of things in a single sentence. Now, that's another topic I'll talk more about because oftentimes people will take that kind of idea and they'll draw it out in a whole paragraph when you should be able to concise it into one simple sentence. So that's a whole skill in and of itself in ad copy, and we'll have a video on that too. It's very important, but I don't want to draw it out too much. Basically, try to avoid super clickbaity stuff and try to be more genuine. Proactivity is the ultimate unbeatable measure, right? And that's the honest truth. So for a product that's life-saving, let's say it's a window breaker for a car, then certainly you want to go with that latter ad copy as opposed to the first one I mentioned, where buy this product to save your life today. No, it's just too much. It's too shocking, and Facebook might report it as shocking. Sorry for the brief interruption. It is time to announce the winner or last video's free 30-minute consulting call giveaway, and the winner is Leonardo Vaz Oliveira. Hit me up on Instagram, my man. I got you with a phone call. We'll talk about whatever it is you want to discuss, and let's get right back to the video, guys. So for a product that's life-saving, let's say it's a window breaker for a car, then certainly you want to go with that latter ad copy as opposed to the first one I mentioned, where buy this product to save your life today. No, it's just too much. It's too shocking, and Facebook might report it as shocking. Okay, tip number 8 is your relevance score. Now, what does Facebook define as relevance for your advertisement? Relevance is basically how the relatability of your ad to your target audience, the people that you're actually targeting, whether it's in your interests or your custom audience targeting. You want to be able to convey the message in a way that relates to them. And the better it relates to them, the better your ad will perform. For example, you wouldn't want to necessarily target gamers or video games when you're selling a beauty product. Now, yes, there are females that game, and obviously females use beauty products the most, but statistically speaking, of course, it's more gamers that are guys out there. So the relevance score would be very low for an advertisement targeting that demographic. Now, that's all simple stuff, and most of you have already gotten that in your heads from the start intuitively. Some people get it wrong, but throwing it out there. But we want to actually go above and beyond that and use it to our advantage to get a relevance score that's above average. Now, how can we do this is actually by doing some light 30-minute market research. Google the product and see some descriptions of the product from competitors and see who they're targeting. Think about who are the type of people most willing to purchase my product after viewing the ad. Who are the type of people who are gonna most enjoy the advertisement I'm showing them? How can I make my advertisement more relatable in a conveying and scroll stopping manner to those individuals that would want my product? For example, you're selling a back massager, right? A back relaxation device. There's tons of them out there, or a neck one, whatever. A scroll stopper would be something that would be eye-catching that could potentially relate to that target audience. What kind of target audience? Well, someone like me, hunched over, tall, so I have to look down when I'm reading or writing. My back is constantly like that. I have to make an effort to hunch back. and fix it. Oftentimes I get pain. So you can target with the scroll stopper, like just someone cracking their back really loudly and looking like they're in pain. That would immediately stop someone because there might be some kind of relevance to those people who would want their backs to be massaged and relaxed to solve that problem. So we're targeting those people. We know that that is a target audience. We want to catch their attention immediately with a very good scroll stopper. So not only is that a cool scroll stopper for a lot of different people, it's specifically good for those who are on their desk. Let's say you catch them cracking their back on their chair in front of their computer. That's perfect. That's an ultimate relevance right there. And then the next clip, you might show something like, if you're targeting people on their computers, someone hunched over on their desk looking down with a really bad back. And then the next clip might be like a extreme case of scoliosis, like a really bad back, right? And you would say, this happens, right? This is a problem. Then the next clip might be something where you bring your solution in, and that is going to be the back relaxer device 3000 or whatever, right? And you explain to them how this solves that problem in a very conveying manner that relates to your target audience. There are minor things that you can do to make it stronger. And what I mean by this is the wording, not just on your ad copy and the creative itself, but also in your description. You want to do light research to find out who your target audience is, maybe even go to some blog posts and see how they talk to each other, the slang that they use. Whatever you can do to relate to them in your creative writing is very important. And that minor stuff that you pick up on, let's say you're selling stuff to bikers, what they might call a bike might be an abbreviation of what the actual name is, rather than calling it the whole bike, right? I don't call it a Dodge Challenger Hellcat. I call it a Hellcat, right? Those are minor things, like minor slang that people pick up on, and you relate to them better. So now they trust you more. And when they get onto their your landing page, now they see even more slang and even more abbreviations and context that applies to them directly, their problems, and they have even more trust and they're sold. So do your best to take your time and build that idea of what your customer is and what they want. Relate to them the best you can, instead of just dishing out products, testing them, throwing money out there, and you don't see any success. Take your time with the creative aspect of things, starting with the actual advertisement, ad copy, and description. Build that out right, because it's very easy to make a simple, clean looking landing page that converts, but it's hard to actually make the ad copy that sells. All right, guys, that is all I've got for you for today. This has been a jam-packed series, and I'll probably have a lot more videos on ad copy and also how to improve your ROAS on Facebook as well, because this is, in my opinion, the most important part of e-commerce, the advertising aspect. And you can't outsource this from the start. You need to learn this and do the grunt work, because one day you're going to be hitting 7-8 figures, and then you actually need to outsource it because you have too much new business to take care of. And hopefully, I pray that I get to that point maybe sometime by the end of the year. I'm really scaling a lot of businesses right now, and I'm doing my best to keep it up the most I can while also doing new business. And it's very difficult, which is why I haven't been able to really respond to all my DMs, but I do reply, and I have replied to all my comments. So definitely drop one down below if you got any question at all. Send me a DM. I'm still replying to them. I might be a day or two late. I apologize, but I'm on it. And of course, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching until the end. Keep hustling, keep grinding, and never, ever, ever give up, y'all. Peace.
3 days out of surgery and she's doing just fine. Back on the road.